Hey, so I wanted to try out this vlogging thing a little bit more. I think it's a cool medium. I think video is something that can communicate sometimes when the written word can't. So I decided for the first vlog, wow, what a really weird word. I decided for the first one, I'd kind of just tell you a story because that's a little bit more natural for me. And it's a pretty funny story. And it's one of those things where you didn't have to be there. It just is bizarre and funny, and it happened to me. So it's great, right? So anyway, the other day, I go to buy some gas, I park at the gas station, go inside, pay for my gas, and then I walk back out. Well, as I'm walking back out, I walk up to my car and there's somebody sitting in the driver's seat, and I start freaking out, right? I'm like, what in the world is this dude doing in my car? So I don't flip out, but I kind of like walk up to the front corner of the car and I just look at him. I'm just like, what are you doing? And his reaction was priceless. He looks up at me and he totally mean mugs me. He gives me one of these, like, what's your problem? Like, what do you want from me? And just as he's giving me like this super dirty look, I look back at him and the light goes off. He realizes what happens and he goes, oh crap, this is not my car. And it was one of those things where the look on his face was just one of those, this is not something that can be replicated ever again because it's just so perfect. And so he got out and starts apologizing and walks off and is totally embarrassed, gives me the whole, this looks so much like my car, I'm sorry dude, oh man, I've never done anything like this before, and we laugh about it and we walk away. So I thought that was that, I thought that was kind of the end of the story. Well, it turns out I go back to the same gas station like 3 days later, and as I'm sitting there, I think I'm sending, I was probably just sending an email or a text or something before I went back to work, and I'm sitting there in my car, and I was only sitting in my car for like a minute, and all of a sudden this dude runs up, jumps in the passenger seat, and sits down next to me. Now this time I am freaking out. Like, I think my first initial reaction was to grab the gear shift. I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of logic I was trying to use. Maybe I was gonna like try and shiv the guy with the gear shift in my car. I have no idea, but I reached for the gear shift and he looks over at me and I'm pretty sure he wet his pants. I'm almost 100% convinced that he urinated on my seat. Not really, but the look on his face was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done? You're not my wife. Those are the exact words he said to me. He said, you're not my wife. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not. And he jumps out of the car. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And it's just like, these are the kind of things you can't make up, right? Both of them happened in the same parking lot in the same week at the same time. It was absolutely ridiculous and absolutely hilarious at the same time, mostly because I didn't get stabbed. So I guess, if there's a moral or a story or a lesson to be learned from the video, whatever, it's don't park next to crazy people, if that makes any sense. So until I try this again, later.